Warning: some readers may find details in this story distressing. Residents of Phomolong township in South Africa woke up to horrific screams last Sunday morning. They came from a 3-year-old boy as he was attacked and then mauled to death by 2 American pit bull terriers. The toddler had been outside with friends in a neighbor's gated front yard, where the 2 pit bulls were usually tied up in a cage. But that morning they were loose and roaming around. It was as the children were playing that the dogs pounced on Keketso Saule. His devastated family say the savage attack lasted for several minutes. Had someone not pulled him away, the dogs would have finished eating him, his distraught aunt, Phomolong Saule, told the BBC. One side his face was gone and you could see his brain. A video taken during the attack shows horrified relatives and neighbors shouting in shock and looking on at the vicious dogs, unsure of what to do and how to intervene. It was only when someone poured hot water on the dogs that people were able to drag Keketso's lifeless body away from them. BBC. Even the child's mother, grandmother, and grandfather witnessed what happened. It's going to take time for them to understand why the dogs ate the child. In a groundswell of anger, the crowd, who had rushed to the scene, turned on the dogs and began throwing things at them. They managed to stun and catch one, setting it alight. The police then arrived as the community bayed for revenge, and the 21-year-old owner of the dogs, Phomolong Saule, was arrested and charged with keeping dangerous dogs and could face a fine or a jail term of up to 2 years or both. The second dog was taken away and euthanized by the animal welfare group SPCA. Mr. Saule has since been granted bail, set at 300 rand, $18, U15. It is unclear if he will return to the house that he was renting. When we visited the neighborhood in Free State Province, about 250 kilometers, 155 miles, southwest of Johannesburg, the charred remains on the street outside the Saule family home told of the grisly weekend scenes. Rocks, sticks and a burnt-out tire littered the area where the dog had been burnt. Residents came out to speak of their shock and anger about what they witnessed on Sunday. "This incident has broken our hearts," said Emily Morini, a young mother carrying her toddler. "We don't want pit bulls anymore," she said, adding that if the owner of the dog did not face justice they would take the law into our hands. Inside the Saule home, Keketso's aunt showed us a photo of the smiling bright-eyed little boy on her phone. Battling to hold back the tears, she spoke of the family's trauma. "Things are just not right at all." Even the child's mother, grandmother, and grandfather witnessed what happened, she said. "It's going to take time for them to understand why the dogs ate the child." One of the onlookers outside told me that there was another pit bull on the street, pointing to a house directly opposite the Saule home. "The dog's owner, Keketso Saule, welcomed me and took me out to his backyard, his brown pit bull playfully jumping on him and his wife. 'This is Junior, he's like my son,' he said." But fearful of the community's animosity towards pit bulls, Mr. Saule said he was going to give up his pet. "We can't live like this in a world where dogs eat children. If the community is angry, then there's nothing that I can do. But seeing him go is very painful to me and my wife." Following a recent spate of deadly pit bull attacks, many people like Mr. Saule have been voluntarily surrendering their dogs. 3 days after Keketso's death, a 15-month-old toddler died in hospital after being attacked by a pit bull in the Eastern Cape province. In Bloemfontein, 49 pit bulls were handed over to the SPCA after 8-year-old boy Olebijan Mozame was killed by one the week before. On the same day Keketso died, a girl was attacked by 3 pit bulls in Cape Town. She was injured and rushed to hospital, and the community turned on the animals, stoning them and setting them alight. The dogs handed over to the SPCA will all be individually assessed, and the organization has appealed to the government for help in dealing with the influx. The non-profit group Animals 24/7 has a log of fatal dog attacks reported in the South African media since 2004. With the 2 deaths this week, which are yet to be included in its list, it will bring its total number of deaths by pit bulls to 37 over the last 18 years. 18 of the victims were children, 5 of whom have been killed this year, making it the worst on record for child deaths. 4 child deaths were reported in 2017, the worst recorded year since 2004 with 8 fatalities in total, and since 2016 at least 1 death by a pit bull has been reported every year. According to law firm DSC Attorneys, which handles personal injury cases, incidents involving dogs are on the rise. We have had over 70 dog bite-related queries this year to date, so an average of 6 per month, and in October alone we had 50% more inquiries than the preceding month, the firm's director Kirsty Halsam told the BBC. The killing of 10-year-old Storm Nuka by his family's 2 pet pit bulls in September prompted the Sizwe Kupalo Foundation to start an online petition calling for the dogs to be banned as pets in South Africa. The defense by pit bull lovers that it is how you raise the dog does not hold water. So many people, including joggers, have been attacked and killed by pit bulls, says the petition, which has more than 129,000 signatures so far. It is time that the South African government takes decisive steps and impose a complete ban on the ownership of pit bulls as domestic animals. Fear of crime is felt to be a major factor in training animals like pit bulls to be guard dogs. Mr. Silbano, who got Junior as protection for his wife when she was alone at home, says there are many pit bulls in Phomolong Township. The increase in pit bull ownership, particularly in townships, is not only for protection, but for illegal dog fighting. The animals are trained to be aggressive, kept in tight enclosures on chains for the sole purpose of fighting and killing each other. Often organized by syndicates, people pay to watch and gamble on the fights. In July, the SPCA busted a dog fighting ring in Cape Town's Grassy Park, rescuing 7 dogs, including 3 pit bull puppies, after authorities became aware of a video of dogs being encouraged to fight. Dog fighting carries a penalty of $4,700 fine or imprisonment of up to 2 years or both. Backyard breeding has also become a problem, with owners cross-breeding pit bulls with other breeds like Boer Boels for illegal dog fights. This means the dogs may look like American pit bull terriers but are more aggressive and more prone to bite people, particularly children. Critics of an outright ban on pit bulls say it will not solve the problem of irresponsible ownership. These maulings are nothing short of tragic, Linz Rottenbuck, spokesperson for the Pit Bull Federation of South Africa, told the BBC. But she put the blame squarely with the dogs' owners, saying laws need to be put in place to deal with them. Banning the breed means people in South Africa who want to feel safe will move from this to another breed. So we'll maybe see a drop in pit bull maulings, but we'll see an increase in say Rottweiler or German Shepherd maulings, she said.